What's up, everybody? This is Urzil99, and today we're playing Escape from Tarkov. I just picked this up on a sale a month ago. I finally got the time to start playing it. So, here we go. In this game, you have to fight for your life and survive the perils of Tarkov, a Russian city in the Norinsk region on the brink of chaos and collapse. Your character is an operator of a private military company caught in a maelstrom of events right after the contract wars. The area is sealed off and your operational command is not responding. Former mission objectives have lost their purpose. Everyone has personal goals now. Adapt and survive. Escape the blockade. Try to save others. Be prepared to die and lose everything you had with you in every raid you enter. Keep in mind that every drop in your internet connection or network hardware malfunction can lead to disconnection from the game. With the consecutive death of your character and loss of all gear you had with you or found with you during the raid. You will die, and most probably very often, but remember, this is still a game. Best of luck out there. And of course you got English, Russian, German, French. Put in handle. Now there were two sides in the contract wars. Bear, which is a secret, which was a PMC created by Edict of the Russian Federation, so it's essentially a proxy for the Russian government. And then United Security, or USEC. These guys were hired by a company called Terror Group that had set up shop in Tarkov, and it was apparently dealing in some super shady crap. So when they found out about Bear being sent to help investigate Terror Group, they hired USEC to basically help them cover it up. The only real difference is, depending on your starting character, is the USEC characters obviously have English voice lines when they talk. Yeah, here we go. You can see USEC that employed Terror Groups as a security contractor. Primary objective for USEC was to destroy any evidence of potential illegal activity by its employer and protect its property from being captured by Bear, the PMC hired by the Russian government to investigate Terror Group's operations. The only real difference is your starting equipment will be different depending on if you're a Bear or USEC. And the voice lines, obviously, for the Bear are in Russian. There we go. Let's see. It's Christmas time. So there's a little bit there. All right. We've got, of course, this Escape from Tarkov, which will launch a raid. Character, trading, and the hideout. Start with the character first. This pulls up your stash. And everyone starts with different stuff depending on your particular edition of the game you buy. Because I've bought a different special edition, so I start with a fair bit of stuff. Of course, when you die, you lose it, so that's probably not for the best. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, there's 4 editions of the game that you can buy. There's the standard edition. There's a standard edition, Left Behind, Prepare for Escape, and Edge of Darkness. And this is the Edge of Darkness edition. That's why I've got so much stuff. You can see you start out with P226s from SIG. If you're a USEC, you get the MP33 Grosh if you're a bear. You start out with some food and water. Of course, you know, everyone starts out with Makarovs. It's like, why? They're kind of a joke. You see AK-74N, Commando backpacks, an MP5 with a magazine and a rail. A couple of tri-zip backpacks, a Kiver helmet. You start out with a set of Ford armor. That's this is class 6 body armor. This is literally the tankiest armor in the game, but it makes you very slow. It's can take a few rounds of the most powerful armor piercing in the game, but it's still, you know, it's pretty hard to find and hard to get. So needless to say, that's going to sit in my stash and basically not go anywhere. You also start out with you can see 400,000 rubles, $3,000. As you can see the 3 currencies, of course, you can also get euros. Certain traders trade in certain currencies. See, we've got a couple grenades, got a lot of basic medication, splints, like that. We got a Salawa up there. So we got some chest rigs. We got a sniper rifle, which won't be going anywhere, I assure you. Got a MPX submachine gun. That's something exclusive to Edge of Darkness. Got a pistol case. And then you have the gamma container. There's the alpha container, which is only 4 squares. The beta container, which I want to say is it's 2 squares by 3, so be these 6 squares. There's an epsilon container, which is these 6 squares. The gamma container, which is the 9. And then there's the kappa container, which is 3 squares by 4 squares. If you die in your raid, anything in your secure container, you'll get back. You'll also get back your melee weapon. But other than that, anything in your rigs, your backpacks, you know, there's a good chance you're not going to get it back. So that's something you got to take into account. The health system in Tarkov's pretty involved. if you go to 0 on, say, your legs, you start limping. If you lose an arm, your arm starts to shake. If your stomach gets blacked out, your hydration and energy stats start dropping significantly. So you get a blacked out stomach, you have to desperately start finding food and drink to get you to an exfiltration point, or you'll start taking damage when these go to 0. With dehydration, you start taking damage. With energy, you start taking damage, and you can't like run or sprint because you don't regenerate stamina very well. Now you may have asked, why'd you throw everything in your stash? That's because I'm still very new to the game, and I'm not going to be using this stuff. At least not very much. I much prefer to have things get experience with it, because if you take it into a raid, like I said, you will lose it if you get killed. And this game's been in development for like 3 years, so there's a lot of very good people out there. But in addition to what you find in a raid, you can also go to traders who will trade you certain items. Like you have Propor, he's a quartermaster for the Russian army, as you can see. Warrant officer in charge of supply warehouses on the sustaining base for the internal troops enforcing the Normansk region blockade. During the contract war, secretly supplied the Bear PMC operators with weapons, ammunition, and various other provisions he had at his disposal. He's not faction locked, even though you're USEC, you can still talk to him. We have therapist, head of the trauma care department at the Tarkov Central City Hospital. She sells primarily medical supplies and food. We have fence. As his name implies, he's a fence. He will always buy anything you have cheap, and he will sell anything he has very expensively. Before the flea market, he was basically a dump for people to just throw stuff at. Anything that the other traders won't buy, he'll buy. We have skier. Port Zone Customs Terminal employee, initially dealing in the terminal's goods. Over the course of the conflict, put together a gang to grab everything he could put his hands on in the vicinity of the terminal. He primarily does weapons and weapon mods, though I understand he does some backpacks and stuff like that as well. Peacekeeper. UN Peacekeeping Force Supplies Officer based in one of the central checkpoints leading to the Tarkov Port Zone. The Blue Helmets have been venturing into small deals from the very beginning, buying everything of value in exchange for Western weapons, ammo, and some kinds of military equipment. Yeah, he takes U.S. dollars as his primary currency. He will convert U.S. dollars from rubles, but he primarily deals in Western firearms. We got the mechanic. Chemical plant formed before the conflict. From its very beginning, he took to weapon modification, works and repairs, and maintenance of complex equipment and tech. He prefers clandestine solo living and operates discreetly, placing complicated and challenging tasks above everything. He's kind of an eccentric guy. He does a lot of Western weaponry as well, but he's got lots of gear mods and such. Then we got Ragman. He worked as a director in a big market located in Tarkov suburbs, sells everything about clothing and gear. Ragman is your guy for armor. Armor, rigs, backpacks, helmets. He sells all of that. Then we got Jaeger. As you can see, he's currently locked. Worked in the forest hunting property of the Priorsky Reserve under the state Jaeger service. Professional hunter and survival specialist. He guarded and guards, no matter what, his Jaeger's ground from various aggressive individuals. So basically he's the Russian equivalent of a game warden. He's special. He does a lot of shotguns and things of that sort. But you have to unlock Jaeger. So he doesn't unlock until, like, I want to say you get to like level 15. You can do the mission from mechanic to unlock him. But let's go ahead and hit up old Prop War. Now, because we just started, we're loyalty level 1 with Prop War. In order to earn the next loyalty level, we have to have player level 15. We have to have a rep of 0.20 with the traders, which we do because we have EOD. You get a little rep boost for having Edge of Darkness. And you have to have bought or sold to Prop War 1 million rubles worth of gear. And you can see what's highlighted here is stuff he'll buy, and what's shaded out is stuff he won't buy. And you can see some items are open, others have to be examined. Just hit middle mouse button and you can examine an item and see what it is. And you'll notice that some items have a price, like this SKS here. You can see I can buy it for about 23,000 rubles. But some items, like this AKS-74, he wants 2 horses to trade. Or this one you can see here, it's he wants 3 items of Tashanka and he'll give us an AKM. He comes with a 30 round magazine. Of course, he doesn't give us any ammo. We have to buy the ammo separately. But for 3 cans of Tachanka, he'll give us an AKM. And I happen to have 3 items of Tachanka here, so I could just hit deal and he'd give me the AKM. We've got various other items here. As you can see, pistols, mods, lots of ammo, magazines. See, it's a plastic mag for the for 5.45 ammunition, which is AK-74 and equivalent. They do have AK-100 series weapons as well, but you have to be a higher loyalty level to get a hold of them. And as you perform more, you'll open up more loyalty levels. You'll get access to better stuff. Ooh, APS. You can see the Makarov. Turn in some bolts and screws, and he gives you a Makarov. Not sure who's getting the shorter end of the deal on that. Like I said, Makarovs aren't very powerful, but you've got all kinds of ammunition here. You got a, what is that? It's a 7.62 by 25 millimeter TT. So I'm assuming that goes in the Tukarev. Yeah, that's ammo for the Tukarev. Some people swear by the TT. It's like, yeah, it is a 7.62 millimeter round. It's just not, you know, it's not 7.62 by 38. 5.45. There's the 7.62 by 54 rimfire. That's the round that's used by the Mosin. So also, every trader has tasks you do to increase your reputation. See this one? What's up, warrior? What's your interest? Cash, goods, the right place for both, but who are you and what are you made of? It's the first time I see you, and no offense, I've lived too long to trust people right away. So you'll have to prove how tough you are on the field. There's no shortage of would-be tough guys in our fair town lately, you know? Then we'll see if you're worth something. Greeting might get warmer, prices lower, and stuff cooler. Fair enough, right? Okie dokie then. Since you agree, for starters, waste, let's say, 5 deadbeats around the customs, and bring me 2 MP133 shotguns as proof. Sure. Okay, kill 5 scavs in customs, hand over 2 shotguns. Now, technically, we don't have to find these in raid. However, since we don't have access to the flea market, and Jaeger is the guy who sells shotguns, and we can't talk to him, we're pretty much going to have to find these in raid. And if we do this, we will get 600 experience, a Makarov, 3 magazines for our Makarov, 5,000 rubles, but we will be able to purchase the AKS-74U from loyalty level 1 prop ore, which means we won't have to do like this barter for this AKS-74. We won't have to do the barter. We'll be able to buy, we'll have a new option to buy it for cash, which is much preferable. All right, let's go over to therapist. As you can see, she's does meds, food, she also sells maps. Let's see what she has for us. Hello, mercenary. Are you interested in a job by any chance? Very well. Work is not hard for a gritty man like you and won't end up in losing. I can always provide food and drinks and, most importantly, skilled medical care in cases of almost any complexity. As for my loyal clients who do not mind helping me with my business, I offer preferential terms for goods and services, but it's up to you for the future. Prove that you're reliable. In the meantime, here's a simple task. I need to obtain 5 emergency medical care kits. Go around as Salawa. The red ones. Know these? That's what I need. So she needs 5 Salawa. So, okay, we can find her 5 Salawa. We don't have to find these in raid clearly because the one in my stash is saying that I can turn it in, which I don't want to do because Salawa is a very powerful medical kit. In return, we'll get 500 experience, 10,000 rubles, 4 sets of painkillers, 4 AI2s, and 4 splints. So we have good old skier. He's got a few things, but they're barter items, as you can see. The Vepr VPO 136, which is a hunting kind of variant of the AKM. Yeah. It's a 7.62 by 39. So yeah, this is basically the AR-15 of the Kalashnikov world. Then we have the 8R-215, which is kind of the Russian take on a... This is kind of the Russian take on the AR-15. It shoots 5.56. It uses Israeli components, which isn't surprising. Most Russian weapons don't use 5.56. They prefer 7.62 or 5.45. Then we got probably the oddest weapon in Escape from Tarkov, the Taz. This is a 20 gauge shotgun. And yes, it's magazine fed and it's bolt action. Don't ask me why. I don't know. We've got some different shotgun shells. The ironic part is, I think this is, yeah, 20 by 70. That's the buckshot for the Taz. What do you want me to do? Oh, I can't do anything for you yet. Got fence. You can sit here for hours of just examining all the stuff that comes through here, which is, it's good and bad in a way. It's good because it gives you access to stuff that you may not have through regular traders, but you are going to pay an arm and a leg for it. You can see all kinds of armor, but you're going to pay a pretty penny for it. So I try to avoid having to buy stuff from fence. We got Peacekeeper. Okay. See, we got some weapon mods. The M9A3 pistol. So this is your basic Beretta 92 essentially. Does have a rail built in for a tactical light, 17 round magazine. You've got you can trade for the MP5, the full size, or you can spend $200 to get the MP5K Navy. So it's got a little mount as well, and an integral handguard. But yeah, this is the PDW variant. You just take out that mag, that 20 round mag, and slap some 30 rounders in there. We got the mechanic. As you can see, he's got some oddball stuff. A lot of his stuff is heavily modified. Got a base for a Glock 17. Oh, here you go. 3 cowboy hats get you a Glock 17 with a massive magazine. It's a stupidly modified AKM right there. Yeesh. TT, very heavily modified. As you can see, a lot of his stuff is pretty crazy. He does a lot of weapon modding. He sells some ammo, but he's a little wild and crazy. But he deals in euros and, as you can see, he deals in euros and rubles. $21,000 rubles for a Leatherman. It's an expensive ass Leatherman. Let's see, 21,874. That's what, almost $200. Sheesh. Anyway, and then we got Ragman. This will probably be one of your more popular traders. He does everything related to apparel. He doesn't have a lot to start with, just basic class 2 armor, basic rigs and backpacks, but gotta start somewhere. All right. And one of the other things that was a benefit of buying the game around Christmas was the Christmas present. We got us some Christmas present. So what did we get? First off, we got an items case, a medical case, and a money case. Let's see, then we got a FN Herstall 5.7 pistol with 4 magazines. Then we got an FN P90 geared for CQB with 4 50-round mags. And we got a shitload of ammo. So we got a shitload of 5.7 rounds for our 5.7 and our P90. So let's go ahead and do a little spring cleaning. Open up our meds case and we'll clean up our situation here. Unfortunately, it's like Diablo 2 all over again. It's inventory Tetris. Okay. Got us some morphine injectors, IFAC, Salawa. But I have some house cleaning to do. I'm gonna go get that taken care of, and then I will get back with y'all shortly. Until then, I'm Mersey99, and I will see you next time.